What's up, bro?
How's it going?
Going good, man. It's been long again. Unfortunately, we've had to go
Busy.
several weeks without getting a chance to film, and even this, man, it's been hard to try to get together for this.
Yep.
I'm telling you, man, we're gonna have to figure out the online thing. Start
The
doing
Zooms.
either the Zooms or something. I don't know. Maybe make it easier, especially since unfortunately, you and me don't live 2 minutes apart.
Right.
So it's okay though. Weather's been really crap lately, so even coming over here today was a whole lot of fun driving through the storm. So I know you were at practice today. The storms kind of affect that or no?
Not at all. Little man was able to get his practice in. But every day when he has stuff in the afternoon, it's like it looks good at 4, or the opposite was true the other day where it was talking about thunderstorm out east. And I'm like, yeah, today's gonna be canceled. He had practice at 6 and yesterday, and he had both. He had his infield coach and his infield and hitting.
Yeah.
He did 2 hours, and we were able to get it in.
Yeah, but that stuff you never know. And it's funny because I know we're not technically we're in September obviously, so August hottest part of the month. Usually it rains the most in summer, at least here in South Florida, and we're just about. We're about a week away here from hitting October, and it's still like it still seems like it's summer. So I don't know. The only thing I've noticed is that it's been a little bit more breezy lately. So I guess that's the humidity's bad, but it's not. It doesn't feel quite as bad as it's been.
Right.
Because it was a brutal summer. It was brutal this year.
I'm waiting for our winters.
Well, our
Just
winters
give me
is
nice and 60, 65.
no humidity. That's all I care about.
No clouds, no rain, and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But things are picking up again as far as
Well,
the real world.
Obviously, the schools kind of semi reopening. I know that we just went to phase 3. I didn't see the governor's complete press conference, so I don't know what all that
It
entails.
was kind of vague.
Yeah. I know you said
I
something
had to
about
look up-
it's no mask. There's still masks.
No, it's still masks, but I had to look up like what that meant because the highlight of it was the restaurants pretty much can be full capacity, which I don't agree with. And
There's a lot of it I don't agree
We've both
with.
already started to kind of like
Yeah.
live our lives a little bit more.
Yep.
Definitely not on full shutdown anymore for a while now, but we've been baby stepping getting there. Like I've been to a restaurant 2 or 3 times since
The only time
whenever the hell this started.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. The only time I've been has been when we went to Orlando.
Yeah.
About a month back.
But I felt, I don't know about you, but I didn't feel unsafe. I felt
No.
fine because it was like you sit here and
yeah.
no one's there, and someone's over there. You know what I mean? Like, so now if you're gonna do full capacity, and now you got like some of these restaurants that are kind of tight, I'm not going to that.
Yeah. It's funny because, and I mentioned this a month ago when we went on a trip, and I still say it. I don't know about now. When we went, I felt very safe and more safe than I still do now, just going to Publix. Something that basic. So yeah, there's no way. And obviously now I'm starting to see a lot more people going. I'm starting to see, videos there each day.
Yeah.
And it's starting to get packed again. I don't care what they say. We're not ready. I know they're doing it for the economy and all that. We're not ready. And I'm telling you now, it's gonna start spiking. School opens.
Yeah. And it's like we've talked about many times. If people forget about this ordinance, that or whatever phase you want to. If people had just common damn sense.
Yeah.
Jacob had a tournament a couple weeks ago, and there was a time like the baseball aspect of it, where I get my dad chair and I sit there and I'm watching them. I'm good with that. They have the mask in the dugout, in the field. They're obviously spread apart.
Yeah.
And all that. These parents are dumbasses, man. Like they don't like, on our team it was pretty decent, but like, dude, and my Hispanics and all that stuff, some don't give a fuck. Because this was in Fort Myers. We got to that park and I went to go check it out because the weather was terrible, and so Christy and the kids stay in the car and I get down with Jacob. And so we find a field where the teams are at. It was like that. And I went back to the car and I'm like, our people don't give a fuck. Like
Our people.
the team is kind of
Right.
separated, and you know the game before us was still going on, so we had to kind of wait. But I'm like, yeah, no, let's not get down yet. I mean, like it's open season, like it's
That's what I'm saying.
it's all good.
Yeah, like
And
listen,
I don't feel comfortable with that.
I did see, and it's funny you mentioned that. I
pretty
did
good,
see when DeSantis was talking about it. I saw a thing, a couple bullet points. One of them was like basically theme parks are wide open again. I'm like, dude, we're not even close. We're not even close out of the woods. And it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but dose of reality hits. And obviously, my thinking is already that I think it's still way too soon for just, hey,
Of course.
phase 3. But I see today there's a guy, there's a whole group of guys that I'm friends with long time on Twitter regarding just people that I've known online for years. And one of the guys I know, he's a beat writer for the 49ers. And I remember 10 hours ago, well, it was about 20 hours, almost a day ago, he posted, hey, my aunt has COVID and she's been hospitalized, but she's been in the ICU for 9 days. Not even 24 hours later, which he tweeted this morning, my aunt passed away. Thank you for all yeah, man, she lasted 9 days.
Christ.
So, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. And then I see that while they're like, hey, phase 3, people just have to get, and I'm like, this is somebody who, without COVID, would not have lost her life, at least not now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Anytime something like this happens, because everybody wants to point the finger and blame, they want to blame Trump, they want to blame this guy. There are also sometimes things that cannot be helped initially. The common sense stuff, yes. Once we get to, but as far as like people were going to get sick, unfortunately, those with underlying conditions, there were going to be deaths. That's nobody's damn fault.
correct.
If you shut down the country day one, people were still going to get it.
Agreed.
Now you could have stopped,
Agreed.
but there's some things you can't prepare for because we've never gone through anything like this before.
No.
So who the hell
No.
knows?
I know.
Um,
Well, listen, a point I made, we've talked about this. When they're talking about opening the schools, hey, we're going to open the schools fully. I think they're going to.
teachers are like,
Well,
nah,
number one,
player.
I feel bad for the teachers. Number one, because
They're fighting it.
They're fighting it. And I don't blame them. But number two, if you think about it, and I said this, he says in the statement when he was giving the press conference, we talked about it.
who,
Schools,
the superintendent?
yeah, superintendent. Hey, we want to open schools back up on the partially. I think it was partially on the 14th, and then by the 20th, 21st, I think it was the full opening. But kids got to wear masks. Remember, I said, fucking adults ain't wearing it. The adults aren't even being responsible about it. So why do you think kids are gonna do it? It's gonna spike. I'm just saying,
Teachers are fighting it, and
And I don't blame them. Listen, you being a former teacher, I'm still curious. What would be your thoughts right now? As if you're still in that role.
well, number one thought would be to drink like a fucking adult,
Well, yeah. Next time, just get in.
not like fucking need a bib. I wouldn't be comfortable. I wouldn't be comfortable at all.
Yeah. You got.
It's hard to teach as it is.
Well, think about
and
it.
then now you're trying to teach, like, and kids are kids. So like high school kids, you can be more on top of them. Of like, hey, look, this is what's going on. Obviously, like this is the way we're gonna work. The management of it, like, okay, you teaching first, second graders, Mr. Herrera.
Yeah.
Chill,
they-
player, because the kid's gonna be fine. Kids may be carrying it. Kids may give it to you because grandma had it, and
How many kids did you normally have in your class?
20 something,
Yeah.
close to 30.
Yeah. It's a lot of kids. You don't have
Whatever
the
the
space.
limit was back then, they were pushing it all the time.
Yeah, and you don't have the space to distance anybody. So
No.
not if you got a full class.
Now, if you have a full class,
And as soon as everybody goes home, every single person now has that reach, and you're not really. You can't keep. I mean, you can't keep tabs on everybody.
Or it's a freaking nightmare. Or the teacher that has it doesn't know it because it has symptoms. May pass it to the kid who won't show any symptoms. But then that
Next
kid
thing you know, the
goes
whole-
to grandma's house, gives it to grandma dies.
Yeah,
It's a freaking mess.
man.
I say cancel the whole damn school year until you get the vaccine or the whatever, and then that's that. But everything is.
I know, and
is
I
this,
said, I
and
think.
and the superintendent. We won't say his name. Broward County.
I know, and listen. I said, I really think, at least in my opinion, should be waiting for at least let's get through December. We're already we're getting ready to start October. A few more months, see where we're at. Because the thing is, I know that it was a downtrend. Let's see if it stays that way. Instead of just as soon as it starts going down, we're going to start opening again. They did that in the first phase. I don't even think we got out of first phase here. I think we just kind of stayed there and just continued up the whole time.
It's better this time.
So, I mean, heck, we just visited one of our, at least my unit, we visited one of our colleagues getting out of the hospital. He almost damn near died from it. Out of all the people that we know,
there's no rhyme or reason is the point.
Yeah.
Because like you can go to Publix, you can do a bunch of shit, but I can't go to the sauna at my gym.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I know that's a sore spot for you.
It's a really sore spot. And you know what I mean? So it's like there's certain things that it's.
Isn't there another sauna you can maybe go to? Maybe like
at my parents' complex.
At your parents' complex, maybe a family member could let you in. Just wondering.
I will make time, and I'm gonna get the key from my mom. I'm waiting for my brother to let me know when the sauna's available.
There you go. Well, because I know your gym is like open season most of the time now.
Right.
Every Saturday, Sundays, getting it in. I see the videos. Right.
It's been a while since I've had an open workout.
Well, yeah, I know that. No, it's been a few weeks.
It's been a few weeks.
But normally, for a while there, it was like.
I got an open garage policy.
Yeah.
But lately we've been a little bit busy and yeah. So
okay, that's fine. I mean, hey. Well, listen. Obviously, you're even seeing your shirt right now. Just reminded me, of course.
About how yesterday was fucking amazing.
Yes.
And how the Marlins made the playoffs.
Yes.
We can get into that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna get into that.
Listen, I don't want to hear shit about
And I said it in the beginning, they're gonna call it the truncated season.
60-game season and all this crap. And I'll be the first to tell you. The thing with baseball is different. It can happen in football. It can happen in basketball. But in basketball or in football, you're not. Put it this way, right? In baseball, best player in the game is
Trout.
Mike
In
Trout.
my opinion.
Mike Trout.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a fact, Joe. Okay? So, Mike Trout.
Listen, remember, I do have a soft spot for Mookie. He's an outstanding player. But
Right, listen, Mookie's up there too. But
Yeah.
Mike Trout, you can pick a 20-game span where he is not good. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have 20-game spans in football where they're not good. If the quarterback's not good for 2-3 games,
you're
he's
done.
out.
Yeah, no, I get
Okay?
it. Unfortunately,
your biggest stars
it's such a short season.
your stars in the NBA, they'll have a bad game, no doubt. They may have 2 or 3. It doesn't get really
They might get into a rut for a little bit.
but not be usually no more than like 3 games pushing it. Mike Trout will have a bad 2 weeks. They all do. And so my point being is anybody can beat anybody in baseball.
Yes.
Anybody can beat anybody in baseball in a series. Somebody you catch them in a cold streak. You catch this team in a hot streak. Let's cut the crap. This team was not supposed to be in the postseason. Then they lost 18 people to COVID. Then they were dealing with that.
Yep.
And then something that people forget. Same thing with basketball. Any sport. And look at like with the Heat. Like Bam Adebayo came back, and he didn't look the same for a while.
Yeah.
Just because you're negative and you're cleared to go, it's a disease we've never dealt with, dude.
Yeah.
And he said, like, my mind's telling me this, but my body's like, yo, you're not ready.
Yeah. And
Kendrick Nunn has gotten out of the rotation. Kendrick Nunn was a starting guard for the Miami Heat all season. Kendrick Nunn was second in the league and NBA Rookie of the Year. He is out of the rotation. Since he got sick, he has not been the same.
No.
Okay?
And everybody, it's affected everybody
So
differently.
you've seen like some of these players with the Marlins, they've come back and they're able to play, but they're not, you can tell they're not right. So given all that this team makes the playoffs, there's been times where you're really high on the team, times where you're like a little bit down in the dumps. I said it the other day to a group of Marlins fans, I go, I kind of wish, and I'm going to throw names you probably don't know because I know you don't follow them like I do, but Monty Harrison, Isan Diaz, Jazz Chisholm, Lewin Diaz, Jesus Sanchez. I'm probably forgetting one, but those 5, they all got a chance to play this season.
Mm-hmm.
I hoped for any one of them to be like, King is here. I'm ready to crush shit. I ain't going back. I'm going to show. They had an opportunity to show. What you going to show me? None of them. Again, and they're still young. Some, my opinions vary on the others because my opinion on a young player, like I'm a little bit more lenient with like a Jazz Chisholm who struggled. He's what, 21, 22? Not so much realistic about Amani Harrison, who's 25. Not a whole lot 26-year-olds figuring it out and, for being rookies. So, but point being that a lot of these younger guys had a chance to show, and none of them have stuck. Yesterday was a must-win game. That they won, none of those guys were playing. Monte came in later as a pinch runner. So I'm a little bit down on that. Like, I wish somebody would have stepped up. Like, I'm here now. Like, I'm big on Jazz, and I still think he'll be great. But push come to shove, he was not in that starting lineup yesterday. He's playing today because today's game doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
So I a lot to look forward to 2021. But like I said, in the group, I'm like, if you would have said they don't make the playoffs this year, this is before COVID and all this bullshit, or even after COVID,
that would
they
have
don't
been
make
pretty much the standard thought.
No, but they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But we improve to just being 500. You'll be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
The fact they now will be in the playoffs, bro, come on. I'm not a huge Marlins fan, and I'll be honest, and I'm a little bit critical. I'm not a huge Don Mattingly fan because I see it every day, and I no doubt the guy, if he doesn't have a bad back, he's a Hall of Famer.
No question.
So no question, he knows the game. I don't like the way he manages sometimes. I think sometimes he just makes dumb decisions. They almost lost yesterday because you have Sandy Alcantara pitching, and you take him out in a spot where it's like the game was still close. You haven't won it yet. The relievers ended up letting the game get tied. Okay?
I didn't even see
it. It ended up going extra innings. Sandy, you saw him later pissed off in the bench. And I'm like, this is the biggest game in this franchise has had for a while. This guy is potentially your ace. He got into a little scuffle. You let him in, you're gonna fight it out. On the flip side of that, I want the Max Scherzer from far away, like, fuck no, get the fuck back in the dugout. I ain't coming out. And I was telling these guys, I'm like, some of you guys are young cats, man. Randy Johnson would have been like, sit your ass down, yeah, I'm not coming out.
If he
you can take the ball from my 6'10" fucking body, cold, dead hands. I'm not coming out. Yeah. Kurt Schilling and all these, forget about the whole steroids.
That's Randy Johnson might have thrown a fastball into the dugout. I'm just saying. That dude threw it everywhere.
So,
I'm just saying.
You don't, but I didn't like that he took him out. I'm like, he got into a little jam. If he's an ace, you got to get into a little jam and get out of it. But that game yesterday was for him to win or lose. Him, Sandy. Not for a reliever to come in at, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you know what? You already know how playoffs is, playoff baseball. There's going to be a time you're going to be in a jam. And you're going to need to work your way out of it because you need to be able to, is depending how they manage, you need to kind of stay on schedule regarding the rotation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, and you already know, if you extend yourself game one, you have now thrown off everything for the rest of the series.
Well, point being that Mattingly legit went from last year, people not knowing if he was going to get extended.
Right.
Or let go, or if Jeter was going to get his own guy.
Right.
Whether the rumors of like Posada and, you know what I'm saying, all that, to got to give credit where credit is due.
Oh, no.
Because he is the manager. If he doesn't win Manager of the Year, it's a freaking sham.
Well, yeah, because they weren't expected really to.
Hell no. And again, then originally they were scheduled. They were supposed to improve. They weren't supposed to make the playoffs. Then aside from that, all the COVID shit had the damn.
Yeah, remember the beginning?
They were stuck in Philadelphia for 20 days or whatever it was.
Missed a bunch of games early on. I remember.
Yes, another thing. Then having to come back and like, okay, by the way, you have 38 games in 35 days. And you're like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Like, literally doubleheader, regular game the next day, doubleheader the next day. Like, that's rough, dude. You know. So, but credit where credit is due. But yesterday was
I'm looking forward to it though.
It
Like
was-
I told you, especially my boys having a crap season, and I do like the Marlins, so I'm pulling for them for sure.
I think they I get it, and you had even like the commentators and stuff, damn near in tears. I'm like, damn. I you know I'm a pain in the ass, so I'm critical of damn near everything, but I was like, they're almost celebrating too much.
Right.
He just made the postseason. I like more the and I
Act like you've been there. I know.
I like the Kobe Bryant famous up 2-0 in the finals. Homeboy's grumpy as fuck. Rest in peace, Kobe. And the guy was like, "Why aren't you happy?" He's like, "What do I got to be happy about?" He goes, "Well, you're 2-0 up. You're up 2-0 in the finals." And Kobe's like, "Did we win it yet? What do I got to be happy about? We haven't won anything yet.
Yeah, he's
Well, I'll
right.
be happy when we win it." I like that. I don't like they were taking pictures. They had the shirts, the hats. I'm like, damn. It's almost like.
You know what? Too. Also, though, they've had so little success.
I get it.
and
I get it.
it's
I
that,
get it.
You know, it's finally something to celebrate. So
Yeah.
I get it.
Me personally, and again, I don't know that you know a more diehard fan than I am with that team. I get it. I've been through it all with that team. Some of it, let's just say I would have wished it be behind closed doors. You were celebrating on the field and taking pictures and the whole thing like they won the World Series.
It
Yeah,
might
that-
be, honestly,
you know.
that might be their World Series, and you know that. Not that they don't have a chance, but
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. We talked about this day. Every team comes into spring training. We can be World Series.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
No, you can't. And we all know
you
everybody.
can't.
We've talked about this.
You can't.
The players themselves are like, yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
We're just not good enough. Some teams know that they're good enough, even though the rest hasn't seen, because they've seen what we don't see in practices and training. But every NFL team, I know everybody comes in, oh, it's the goal to win the Super Bowl. Mofo, you know damn well in the beginning of the season, you know if you have a chance or not. Or if you're just competitive, or if you know you're not. You're crap. Those teams that go 1-15, they knew they were going to be 1-15. They really did. They didn't go in saying, man, we thought we were going to be better. No, you knew if you were going to be better. Because you
You always hope you be better than what you are.
Of course you do. But it's not like you're just going to accidentally be good.
But these are guys, but these are the people that do that shit for a living. Like even in our Sunday teams or like the softball team, the PD softball team or my hardball team Sunday, I'm like, we go into the season like, you know where we're at. Like, okay.
Well, and that's
Our best pitcher is no longer with us. And who's catching? Shit, you're catching?
Yeah,
Fuck.
and there's my point.
Like,
There was times where we
you
would
know
go
what I mean?
out. Remember our PD team? We went, and right there at the end, which I don't know if that team's ever going to see the light of day again, but the team that we had, we would smoke people. We smoked everybody. We won the last 2 seasons. We won the whole thing, and we went to a 50 or 60 team tournament and got down to the. We lost in the finals by 4 runs.
Yeah.
So, but we knew when we went out there, pretty much we were going to win the game. You knew. But prior to those 2 years, there was certain teams we know, okay, we're going to probably win this game. And other games,
Well, the short time that I joined you,
we're like,
you
we're
know,
yeah,
you
we're
see the lineup,
Yeah,
and you're
we're
like,
yeah, we're not winning this game.
wait, who's playing? Oh, okay.
Who's pitching?
Fuck, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's playing third?
You're like, dude, he usually just coaches. So, yeah, it's not going to happen. But yeah, I mean, that's why I said. You know what, too? Listen, I haven't been paying too much attention to sports. I started paying attention a bit, especially with NFL, a little bit. But we can't talk about the Heat.
I'm about to say, don't rain on my sports.
The Heat, I mean, hey, they're getting. I mean, it's funny they're getting close, but they're another one they better watch. And the funny thing is,
they need to win tomorrow.
They need to watch.
They need to win tomorrow. You do not want to go 3-3 and leave it like.
No, I agree.
They need
And the
to
funny
win
thing is, like I
tomorrow.
said, I win either way because I am a Celtic fan and I'm a Heat fan.
Okay, we could just wrap that up right
There
here.
you go. Sorry, the Celtics. I grew up watching the Celtics before the Heat existed, so it's just the way it goes. I grew up watching the Heat.
Dating
when they
yourself a
were,
little bit, bro.
yeah.
Um,
So I like both teams. So I'm good with it, but I kind of do want to see the Heat do it because I really want to see. You already know. I want to see the Heat versus the Lakers.
Yep.
In the final.
Yep.
Especially going against LeBron.
Whoop that ass.
Yeah, I really want to see that. So that's kind of like, because the thing is, yeah, it'd be great to see the Celtics make it, but really there's not that get back
Yeah.
that the Heat have. So
You've seen where even
I do want to see that.
I've heard on another podcast where somebody who knows somebody who has friends in I don't give a fuck because he put it out there. I saw in a video Michael Rappaport okay, the actor, and he's very big into the NBA, and he has NBA friends and all that shit. And he said he was a guest on one of the podcasts that I watch on YouTube, and he said how the NBA players themselves say LeBron is the fakest mofo out there.
Really?
Yep.
Well, we see it.
Yeah.
We talked about this in other facets of all kinds of stuff with him. So,
Yeah, not surprising.
yeah, exactly.
Not surprising.
And it's weird too because he is a great player, but man, it's weird to see
Every time he opens his
the
mouth.
perception of him is really changed, at least in the public eye, and what I've seen on social media. It just seems to have completely, and this has nothing to do with everything, the riots and any of that other stuff, just him in general.
No, but he's scared
Yeah.
every day. He's scared for his
Yeah,
life every day.
Don't get me started.
He's
on
scared.
that. I know.
For his safety.
I know.
He's been the fucking chosen one since he was 13 years old, but he's...
I know. Listen, I get you, and this is why I keep saying, he's just not. He's not in the same talent-wise, but not in the same. He's not in the same level as Jordan. It's just not.
I respect, and I know lately he's, you know, he's just so smart. Because even now, like where you kind of have to say something. He put out one statement and that was like, "You ain't heard nothing else about Jordan."
I know.
But I go back to like the '90s, and he's like, "Yeah, not getting involved in this, and that's okay.
Yeah. No,
Not getting involved in this,
it
and
is the
that's
way it
okay."
is.
I do like where, and we're not gonna. At this point, I don't give a fuck. But go into the whole thing. But I do like where like Charles Barkley has at least been like.
It's been. I will say this, and again, I don't like talking about this stuff, but I will say it's been interesting to see people that surprise me coming from both sides, and I'm like, man, I never expected. So it's just like you're talking about with Barkley and stuff, that type of stuff has caught me off guard a bit. I'm like, man, I did not know this. You know.
Yep.
Marcellus Wallace from what is it? What the hell? The Sports Take. I can't think of it. Jason Whitlock and all that other stuff. Yeah, all those guys.
Yeah.
Just surprising to see that, but it's just interesting to see the different.
Or
viewpoints.
Jason Williams, also from ESPN.
Yeah.
When like, what's this idiot's name? But we had spoken about it when it happened. When
Yep.
Montrez from the Clippers, he called Luka
Yeah.
bitch ass white boy, and even Jason Williams was like, "Really, bro?
Yeah.
Really? Like if this shit was."
And agreed.
The other
And
way
everybody said
around,
if it was reversed, yeah, it
it'd
would be a whole
I
big
mean-
thing. And listen, I appreciate that he came out the next day and apologized. But again, if it was reversed,
don't buy any of those
it
apologies.
wouldn't have been enough.
I
I'm
don't
just
buy.
saying.
I don't buy any of those apologies. I don't.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, hey, again, I don't care about any of that stuff. Like I said, I stopped
You
paying
see,
attention.
you saw John Wall. I think we spoke about it. John Wall about a week or two ago. He came out his apology because he got. Which, by the way, what happened to if you're at home like you buddies, your buddy probably is not gonna want to get you jammed up. We come from a different generation. Like even if that was accessible to us when we were little, like I wasn't gonna be recording my buddy smoking
it's-
weed
it's weird.
or like
I know they
you
do
know
that- they do
doing
this
stupid
stuff.
shit and then blasting it on wherever the fuck. Where John Wall, a guy he was around or whatever, videotaped him. He's with another buddy, and he's throwing the whole Bloods thing.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, and then bust out with the red bandana.
I did not see that.
Oh, well.
But I have been. Admittedly,
Wall.
I've been detached.
John Wall.
Wow.
Okay. Yep.
Jeez, man.
Then he came out with his apology. Apology for what? That you gang related?
Yeah.
What are you apologizing for? That some idiot that you don't know got you by mistake on the video or whatever? Which, by the way, that guy probably won't last much longer.
Yeah. Exactly.
But you know what I mean? Like, what are you apologizing for? Like, because you got caught?
That's
All
why
these
you.
stupid
no,
apologies are
That's why.
fucking
That's why
dumb,
you
dude.
apologize because you got caught.
I'm dumb. They're dumb.
Oh, listen. I will say this. Just like we talked about when he called him that name on the court. If that was not, and obviously they say stuff all the time that you don't ever hear about. But if that's not spotted on court, there was no apology.
It's
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You never
I
would
get
have
this
heard
talking
about.
shit when it's sports, but again, if my dude Tyler Hero would have said something the opposite to that after he bust a fucking three in someone's face,
I know.
now we have a problem. Now Tyler Hero's gonna be the enemy of the fucking the country.
I know.
Okay.
I agree. I agree.
So
I get it.
and we talk about it a lot, I've been able to watch the sports and separate the BS. Once a game, I told you, I'll see the court and I'll be like, okay, next, pass the ball to Hero. You know what I'm saying? And I forget about what's on the court. I forget about the shirts. I forget about all that BS because, again,
Yeah.
The world is becoming a scary place.
Yeah.
And as much as we always say we don't want to talk about it here and all this crap, only so much we can bite our tongues, because you got the football players for the Steelers wearing the name. I forgot the name of the guy who got shot by the cops after he did a drive-by.
Yeah, I know. I give, and I told you, I give credit to Pouncey. He did his own research and came out and said, hey, I did not know, I wasn't educated enough on this to know what this guy was about.
Who? Are the Pouncey brothers?
Marcus Pouncey, yeah.
No shit.
Yes.
They've had enough.
Oh, I didn't know.
They've had their own trouble.
He basically came out and he put tape over and he put the name of a veteran, a vet that was killed.
Okay, thank you.
And that's what I'm saying. And then they asked, and of course he said, I made a mistake. I didn't know really what the name was. I didn't know enough about the guy. Once I realized, I'm not going to just, basically said, I'm not just going to follow what everybody's doing.
Good.
I'm sorry. So
Good for him.
I give him credit for saying that.
Good for him.
Not because he did it at what everyone else is doing, but he actually was big enough to say, I wasn't educated enough on this, and that won't happen again. So I mean, hey,
I can respect that.
absolutely, I can respect it. Whether it's for or against anything I believe in, he's coming clean about that.
And for our 3 viewers, let us be clear, because we agree on this. Anytime a cop does something illegal, nobody gets more upset than you, me, and the rest of the good cops.
I know.
Let's put that on fucking
I know.
notice.
I agree.
Okay? But some of these cases aren't what they make it seem. You have to let the investigation run its course, and then you're just being naive and just being, unreasonable with some of these things. Because
I think
I'm not gonna, when you're rioting and now you're protesting about a guy, I'm not even gonna say the color. It doesn't matter. About a guy coming at an officer with a knife.
That was the
and
worst
the
one I've
officer
seen. Yeah, that's the worst one I've seen.
taking him out, and we're gonna protest that one.
Yeah.
No cop I know, not you, not me, not anyone that we know, is gonna say, you know what? Yeah, bro, I can see why that dude had his knee on Floyd's neck for 8 minutes. Not one.
No.
And we've gotten into it before. I don't give a shit what Floyd did before or what his record is. I don't give a shit. We do how we were taught. Good cops do as we were taught. When you have to fight, I'm going home.
Oh, we fighting.
I'm going home. I will fucking punch, kick, scream, fucking scratch, bite. I don't give a fuck. Once you are under control and I've got you handcuffed, the fight is over. So that no good cop will tell you that was okay. But these other ones that we're fighting, the knife one was to me like when the body camera came out.
It's the most egregious that I've seen yet. And it's like, at that point, if you're going to riot about it, or even protest it, at that point, it shows me that it doesn't really matter anymore what the reason is. It doesn't matter if it's completely 150% justified. It doesn't even matter. They're just going to fight. They're going to protest. They're going to do anything no matter what happened. Because that's what we're seeing now. It doesn't seem to matter what it is. So it's extremely disheartening, because at that point, what else could you possibly... I mean, it's completely within any self-defense guidelines. Are you kidding me?
My argument
I don't know what else you can do.
My argument always remains the same. When people know me enough, I'm sure with you the same thing. People who are not cops, they're very careful when they get into these kind of conversations, because you say something I don't like, I mean, it's like F you for life. I don't want to hear it. Because you've never been in those shoes. And I always tell people, I don't go tell a banker how to be a banker. I don't tell my dentist, oh shit, you gotta do this to this tooth. How about the one on the right? Don't want that one. Do what dentist says, because they know more than I do.
Of course.
But I've told people in the past, like that situation, all these people were rioting, protesting. For the one with the guy coming at, y'all wanted body cameras for accountability, right? Okay, well here it is. Dude coming with a knife at the cop. I can't talk today. Dude coming at a cop with a knife.
Yeah. Sprinting at him.
Give me walking at him. Fuck. But he was springing at him.
Right.
Okay? Remove the situation of being asshole and cop and just make it asshole and civilian who is your son, or your father,
Well, then it would be-
or
then it
your
would be-
cousin,
then it would be okay.
or your significant other, who's just a dude in Walmart, but happens to be armed legally, concealed permit, or whatever.
Right.
Crazy guy at Walmart comes at him with a knife. They're legally armed. What would you want them to do? Well, first I would have stop. You're fucking dead.
Yep.
It's like that.
Yeah. That's
It's like that. So before you start with your reasoning, and I would do this, and I would do that. No, you're dead. It's a split-second decision. I would hope that you would tell your significant other, your spouse, your son, whoever, they're legally armed. Why are they legally armed? For a reason, right? That they would bust out their concealed carry, take that motherfucker out. And if that motherfucker didn't want to be dead, don't come at somebody with a knife.
yeah. Yeah.
Let's change topic because I've already dropped more F-bombs than I have
There you go.
in a while. And
Probably in the entire
my mom's
year.
one of our 3 viewers, and she's gonna
The
think she
entire
raised me
year that
wrong.
we've done these.
Right.
Most likely.
Right.
What the heck were we talking about before we even got off on
I don't
on
know.
our
We
tangent?
always end up getting in a topic we say we're not going to get into.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's okay. Well, listen. So at least yeah, that's right. We were talking about the Heat. I know the series is tied up now, right? It's 2-2.
No, watch your mouth. 3-2.
3-2. That's right.
3-2.
Oh, that's right. Because they were up 3-1.
3-2.
That's right.
So we can close it out tomorrow. I told my brother-in-law
They have to.
I don't want to go Monday, start the week with this bullshit.
Yeah.
Close it out, bro. Close it out.
Yeah.
They,
You don't
can
wanna
tell-
leave it-
You
you don't
can
want-
tell they tightened up a little bit on Tyler yesterday. He ended up still a decent game, but after that 37 from a 20-year-old, they were like, somebody else beat us, but that we got to control him.
Yeah. No kidding.
But the future's bright. But they're another overachieving team. People
Yeah.
thought they'd be good when you beat the Bucks. And I don't want to hear this nonsense about Giannis was hurt. Giannis got hurt after already they were down, a couple.
Yeah.
And I felt terrible for that. I was talking to my brother. Right? Number one, you don't want to see anybody get hurt. Number two, I want to beat them with their best. I don't want to, this where the number 2 player in the whole league is. Well, he won the MVP, right? So he was number 1 player in the league.
Dude, you want to talk about hurt?
Suck it, LeBron.
Yeah, right. Last couple weeks, we've only been a couple weeks in the NFL season. Niners were favored to probably win the division again.
Mm-hmm.
Every year they get hit with the injury bug. A lot of NFL teams do, but this year we have 8 starters. Remember, you only have 22 starters. 8 are out right now. 8,
Jeez.
and including starting quarterback, starting running back, Pro Bowl defensive tackle, Pro Bowl defensive end. This is all like back to back to back to back. Our Pro Bowl cornerback, like, dude, these are star players. This is not, it's not scrub guys. So,
Yeah.
bro, I don't know what it is. It's just like, Jesus, man. At what point? I mean, at one point last week they were playing at where were they playing at? The field. Oh, it was in New York. They're playing the Jets. They got to play the Giants this week. They got to play on the same field. They were complaining about MetLife, the turf. Within successive plays, they lost their Pro Bowl defensive end, and then their starting defensive tackle. In successive plays, knees, both of them, ACLs, gone. So, yeah, man. When you say the injuries, it just reminded me. Fortunately, they're still talented, so they're still, they still won the game. They'll probably win this week against the Giants, but this is the softer part of the schedule. So as they start getting into the division games, which are way harder, probably not. And this is why they say it's so hard to repeat.
Yep.
Made the Super Bowl last year, but you have to go based on health too.
And all
even if you got
sports,
the
dude.
players. Well, that's the thing.
Look at the Nationals.
Football's the worst, though.
They didn't even make the damn playoffs.
Yeah, this is the only one, though, it looks like we're going to get a full season. Aside from, also contributing, this is where you're starting to see the I talked about this, no preseason.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody hates the preseason, but the players need it for conditioning, for hitting, for that type of stuff. And now you're starting to see, it's not just my team, there's been a bunch of teams where a lot of star players popped hamstrings, Achilles, knees, because they're not, even though you're in training camp, you're not conditioned to play in games yet. Also, you go from 0 to playing 60-minute. Yeah, it's just.
I believe it.
Yeah, so it's been, but they're only it's only 2 games in the season. They're 1-1.
Dolphins played Thursday, got their first win. Fitzpatrick looked decent. But
He did. I watched some of the.
I
game.
haven't watched any of it honestly, and I mean there was the Martins and I don't know the Heat that they didn't play that day. I was watching the Martins and I'm anxious to see Tua. Call me when he starts playing.
I know.
That's the show I told you. I watched with the boys the documentary on Tua, and I became a fan of the kid, man.
Yeah, you were
Comes from a
telling me
good
about
family,
that. I want
a
to
man
see
of
it.
faith, and hard working, and how he's come back from that injury is.
Well, listen, you already know this, and the way they're doing it is the smartest way you can, because you've got Fitzpatrick, obviously, who can play. Let this kid learn until, of course, unless Fitzpatrick gets hurt and he has no choice to go in.
Yeah.
What they're doing is the best way to bring him along. Yeah, you could throw him in. He might,
Hey, it worked out for Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Actually, Rodgers sat the bench for like 3 years before he started.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
He
had to
or
wait to
you
get
got
his
guys
shot.
like, look at Kyler Murray. He's been pretty successful from day one in Arizona. So it does work both ways.
Yeah.
But he was also number one pick, and, he turned out to be, pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like a Russell Wilson. So
But we'll see, man.
Tua's, I'm interested to see Tua.
Yeah. Good
Him,
kid.
Jalen Hurts, that whole little group.
Well, I heard my buddy's a Eagles fan, and I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow with Jesus. What's the guy from the I'm going blank? The quarterback for the Eagles.
You talking about the starter?
Yeah.
Oh, Wentz. Sorry.
Carson Wentz.
Jesus, I'm losing it.
Where, he's one little injury from being just known as injury guy now, and my buddy was telling me where Eagles fans are already calling for Jalen Hurts. See what he could do.
But Wentz, let me tell you,
Wentz, when he's healthy, he's a stud, bro.
And it sucks too because he's done well since, but before he got hurt, man, he was every bit.
But he told me, it's like, people are already asking for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
They were already like questioning when they drafted him, like, why'd you get a quarterback? We got a franchise capable guy, Super Bowl winner.
Maybe they didn't trust
But
the injury bug.
yeah.
I don't know.
So-
It's funny. I always say the most popular guy on every football team is the backup quarterback.
Yeah.
It's always they're always calling for that guy because they think that he's going to save the franchise.
Yeah, man.
Not everybody has Tom Brady stashed on their roster.
We'll see tomorrow how it goes, but we'll wrap it up, man. But next time I do want to get into kind of recap how our workouts have been going.
Yeah.
'Cause I think we've gone already. Well, number one, the delay. Number two, we haven't spoken much about our workouts and how that's going and whatnot.
Yeah, we should. Since we're both into it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Kind of what we've been doing, regimen, especially during this pandemic and stuff, changing from facilities from, even your garage over to the other gym at the school and stuff like that. So, I know you've been to LA. I haven't. I still haven't. I know you're good with it. I'm still not. So I'm going to stay away still for a while, I think. I want to go. Of course. Are you kidding me?
Well, like I said from the jump, but they surprised me in a good way with how on top of things they've been. And I went this morning, but besides that, I went last week. Mm-hmm. Before last week, I didn't go for like 3 or 4 weeks.
Right. Yeah, I remember you were going and you said you got tired of being treated like a child with the guy walking around with the mask.
Yeah, I'm cool with the mask when you have to work out, but when I'm running in the treadmill, that's the thing where it doesn't make any sense. Because you can go to Publix and they don't give a shit. When I'm running on a treadmill and you've closed the next 2 treadmills on both sides, so I've got nobody anyway from here to over there.
Right. Good
job, social distancing. But I'm here. What's the point of the mask? No one's coming anywhere near me. I'm all for wear the damn mask when you're out and about, and that 100%. If I'm in a spot, I'm not gonna leave for a while. And you've already blocked off things to avoid congestion. Okay, so I'm here now. Like, while I'm here, I don't need the 17-year-old with an ego working at LA Fitness to be like, hey boss, put the mask up.
And this is why I think I've stayed away. It's turned me off completely. To where I'm just like, I don't really want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Not that I don't wear the mask, I do. Just, I'm not, when we're doing lap pull downs and Tiny come by and, complain, God forbid, because while I'm trying to do it, the mask happens to slide on my nose or something.
No, and I've gotten used to it a little bit. And again, if I go once a week over there just to kind of break the norm of what I have available to me here. And so I've gotten a little bit more used to it. But at first, I'm you know, I'm big on that. My muscle connection, man. And I'm like subconsciously like, don't forget to wipe down the shit. You don't want to be that guy that they'd be like, hey, you didn't wipe down your shit. So it's like,
Don't be that guy.
a full scrub of the machine as you go. It's like it gets me away from the zone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but we'll get into all that next time. But
All right, bro.
all right, brother. Always a pleasure.
Always.